So first off, I want to say please pay attention to the title of the video. Pit bulls are my favorite dog breed. In no way, shape, or form would I ever say that pit bulls are the best dog. This is just my personal opinion based on my personal experience. I really love pit bulls. I relate to them in a personal way. Maybe this video will clear up some misconceptions you might have about this breed, or maybe it will just give you a broader understanding of what makes them tick. First off, I want to say they're some of the most tenacious, loyal, joyful, passionate dogs that you could come across. There's a lot of awesome breeds. One thing I also want to say is I would never really consider a pit bull to be a personal protection dog. They're way too affable towards human beings to be a true protection dog. I would stay with like a Rottweiler, a Doberman, German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois. Those are going to be your like true protection dogs. Pit bulls, their history, they get mislabeled as being super hardcore aggro because they were bred a lot for fighting and dealing with farm animals. Like they're pit bulls. They would actually work with livestock to help the rancher manage his herd. So they were bred with a gamesmanship towards other animals. Simultaneously, they were bred with a strong trust of human beings. They were bred to trust humans while they were in an escalated state of mind with other animals. Meaning, if there was a dog fight and the two dogs were fighting, they needed to be able to go up and bear hug the dogs and separate the dogs without risking being attacked. So any pit bull that would exhibit any kind of redirection towards a human being, they wouldn't continue to breed that dog. They would breed the dogs that had strong gamesmanship towards other animals, but they would call the ones that were towards humans. So what just happened is they were playing and she crashed into that tree right there, strong enough that it actually shook the tree. So I have the rule, whenever there's any potential for injury, I would make them stop so I could examine and make sure they weren't hurt. So what I'm doing here is just kind of watching her move, making sure she wasn't injured. She whacked the tree pretty hard in her hind quarter, right on her, basically on her rear quadricep muscle, and it really wasn't a serious injury. However, as the weather changed and it got cooler, she was kind of a little favorable towards that spot. So I took her in for some acupuncture sessions and got the blood flowing back in there, and she was good to go again. They're really tough, and one thing, when you have a pit bull, you really got to pay attention. They hide their pain really well. So here's a funny story about pit bulls, alluding to the fact that they're super bred to be human responsive. There was a shelter that had gotten a pit bull dropped off there, and no one knew whose dog it was, but there was a rescue group that wanted to pull the dog, and because it was a high kill shelter, but the shelter wouldn't release the dog to anybody but the owner. So the rescue group got another person who nobody knew to go into the shelter and act as if they were the dog's owner, so they could pull the dog out and save its life. All the person had to do was make up a name. I don't know what name they used, and when they saw the dog, just act like they were its owner, super excited, such and such, and the dog just totally bought it. It was like they went in, they were like, "Oh my God, Snuggles, where were you? We missed you so bad. Oh, Snuggles, oh, we missed you. You made us sad." The dog looks at that, and their head cocked sideways, their whole body language perked up, their tail starts wagging a million miles a minute. They're all squeaking and squawking like, "Hey, someone's paying attention to me, giving me all this good energy. I love them already." And that's all the shelter staff needed to see, was like, "Oh, this dog is named Snuggles and it loves this person. It must be their owner." But the dog had never even seen the person before. It was just responding to the energy, because that's what I'm saying. Pit bulls love human beings so much, it's hard to even conceptualize how much they love human beings. We don't deserve it. All dogs love humans, but pit bulls, they trust us to their own detriment. It's really a shame. They are one of the most trusted animals you're ever going to find. So here we have a little pug coming to visit, and his favorite toy was a hanger. Now the pit bulls would like to pick this hanger up, one on each sand, and turn it into a tug-of-war toy right now, even if the pug's head was in it. And that's why, you know, from day one, when you get a dog like this, you have to just reinforce manners. Just manners. Not hardcore discipline and rules and you know, strict behavior where they don't get to have any fun, but just manners. So you see how as soon as he let the toy down and walked away from it, then they just zoomed in on it and started sniffing it and, you know, whatever. That's because they're respectful. I bought the hanger back over to him to see if he wanted it, because it's actually his favorite toy. But now he wanted to drink water. It was a pretty hot day. So now the dogs are over here, and they're just kind of hanging out. They understand that this little pug is like older, he's small, he's not the same level as them. And because they're well trained, they're deferring to him, and they're not trying to be rambunctious and rowdy on top of this little tiny pug. They're just kind of doing their thing, and he's drinking, and they're just hanging out. And that's what you get when you spend quality time with your dog, connecting with them on an animal level. But I'm not trying to turn this into a training video. I just want to share with you how much respect, joy, and admiration I have regarding the pit bull breed, how happy they make me, and how much I love working with them, because they're really responsive. They're some of the most responsive dogs you'll ever get. And if you're looking to adopt a dog, consider a pit bull. It may not be the best one for you, but I would encourage you to do some research into what they actually are, but also realize what you're getting, and reach out to someone who understands the breed, and they can help you